Blender Agentic Bonsai Sketcher MCP. Hello, my name is Luis, and that's my little project, my side project that I made to, of course, solve a little bit of hurdles that I'm having, and also as an exercise from what I know and to what I want to know. And I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm graduated and started working as a mechanical designer of machinery using basically SolidWorks and AutoCAD, and then I started using 3D Max. Then I went to BIM. It's a building information modeling, while the development of new industrial plants like milling plants or projects that have pipe and gas installations. And then we used a lot of Autodesk suite, so I have a lot of experience in 3D software and its ecosystem, what we can do from one another, what we extract the best value of them, because they're excellent tools, they're proprietary, but they're expensive. And as an engineer, I didn't kept myself to that let's say real world field. Of course, I was a software operator of these tools. So a project that I saw a few years ago, it was Sketcher, very nice for Blender. And then I saw Bonsai. I kept following them, their works of building information modeling along Building Smart and the IFC project. Now we're in version 4, heading to version 5. Bonsai is compliant. It's very nice setup, but we still have the problem of the learning curve. That's why that's what I think hurts for many people. And then let's say I wanted something to help, and I came up with this Agentic Bonsai Sketcher, getting all the inspiration, the tools from the original Blender Labs MCP. It's one of upstream of this repo, and I try to make something that it's kind of good to run on let's say in a fashion that you can still customize and evolve these agents and this software. So these links are in the description. We have from the original projectblender.com.org. It's the same one, the same hash. Where is it here? It's 5AA here, the hash, and the same one is from GitHub. It's the hash is 5AA, and alongside with this we need the IfcOpenShell. It's another fork I did. It's on my personal repo on GitHub. This IfcOpenShell, it has some modifications in the UI of Blender, and some new features on the model of Bonsai, specifically on the slab. I'm gonna get to that later. So I have a few modified files here, like 5, and let's try to install. Let's try to configure this like it was a new system. 2 things I recommend you to have already installed. It's Blender, of course, and Docker, more specifically Docker Compose. So sorry. So if you have Docker installed and Blender, we're good to go. So let me just Okay, let's clone this Blender Agentic repo. Oh shit. And also let's clone the IfcOpenShell from my fork. It has these modified files. So just copy here. I created a new folder, Blender project, for this tutorial. So now we have Blender Agentic Bonsai and IfcOpenShell. So now we have to configure Blender, of course. So in Blender, this is the, let's say, the vanilla Blender, nothing installed. And let's go to edit, preferences, or control comma. Now we have, we're gonna start interface. Let's get extensions. We can get Bonsai. Our IfcOpenShell is kind of big. We're not gonna need all of them. We're just gonna, let's say, paste the files that I modified, that I improved for this scenario, for this MCP agent. And the Bonsai itself is gonna be installed here from the official repo. Now it's installed. We're gonna need the MCP. Oh. Let's say here we're gonna need the extensions MCP. It is available. Yes, it is available here, the MCP. When you click install, it's kind of quick. It is installed already. Now when it's let's say it's started, Bonsai is started, MCP is started. We don't have, even if you try to find it, Sketcher, yeah, it doesn't have Sketcher here. So we're going to, let's go here to this Blender Agentic README. We have the link for the CAD Sketcher. Oops. And CAD Sketcher, the official repo. Look how big the IfcOpenShell is. And then here you have the zip archive link. So just click it, you download it. I have already downloaded here. It's a zip file, so it's in my downloads folder. So in edit, preference, you can drag and drop. It's the same thing. Add-ons, I'm gonna drag and drop. CAD Sketcher main, and then this little window will open, and let's install and enable add-on. So now we have Bonsai, CAD Sketcher, and the MCP. As the MCP is already running, so our Blender is already able to be connected to an MCP. Here we can have a little bit of the configuration. Let's leave it default for localhost 9876, so you don't need to change anything in the Docker software. So we're good here. Let's close this window. I closed both Blender windows. Let's open it up again. Let's just for good sake check if everything is on. Bonsai, CAD Sketcher, MCP, they're on. So we're good here. So our Blender is already started, so we don't need to restart it yet. But here in our README, we have to install the module, the IfcOpenShell module of the BIM, source, Bonsai, BIM module. These files under this folder module they were changed in order to make Bonsai and its IFC components to see Sketcher entities and its lines and dots. Now we have to remove the original folder that IFC the Bonsai Blender Bonsai installed. My folder is in Blender 5.11 extensions bin module. You have to take a look. It can change regarding your Python version or Blender version. You can see which folder is the right one, so you can remove the Bonsai folder. This has no risk. If something go wrong, just go to the Blender app and the options, and you just reinstall Bonsai from fresh. So I removed that folder, so I don't have that folder anymore. But here I have in my Blender project folder IfcOpenShell source module. I have this modified module folder that I'm gonna copy it to the right place. This is awkward, so paste it here. So I'm gonna have the new files placed. If you have your Blender open, you have to close it and open it again because it does some Python caching. So the files are there, and now I think we're ready to go. Let's open Blender. You see nothing changed, no errors. Let's start a new IFC project. I'm going to start from the new demo project, and this demo project already have some entities. So I'm going here, the usual sketcher place. I'm going to add a sketch on the top plane. So I am in the sketch place. So here I'm going to draw horizontal line, vertical line, horizontal line. It's already placing its constraints, so we can constrain it anymore, even more. Let's say 5,000. Let's say 6,000. Let's say click it 1,500. Okay, so here we can see that it's fully defined sketch. That's what we want. Working with Sketcher and CAD tools, we want to constrain everything in something that is, let's say, tangible, like the dimensions itself. Let's name it slab. So I'm gonna leave slab. So I have a slab made out of sketch, and here let's add a slab tool. We can see that we have our slab that we can select. That's from the template that we opened. And now here we can select a sketch. We can add a slab like before, but that's not our intention here. We want to add this slab in this type of slab in the slab catch. So we just need to click here, and then it does the conversion, and our slab is created. So that's the first integration. We can integrate Sketcher and Bonsai and make some operations out of Bonsai using Sketch, and this is thanks to this integration with IfcOpenShell. Now we have our slab created. Let's configure. Let's continue the configuration. So we have the TCP server in Blender. I think it's already started because it's the default. It's in localhost. That's okay. The default location, and then we have to add .env to our MCP Blender because it's Agentic. We are using Gemini models. A port is not ready yet for the other models, other providers. So let's add a Gemini API key from Google. So now we're going to work in this Blender Agentic Bonsai Sketcher, the MCP itself, this repo itself with its files. So here we have the general configuration of the files. In the MCP folder we have our Docker for our infrastructure, our requirements, everything that's needed to communicate, the original Blender MCP files and instructions that the Blender Foundation founders made. So let's get back here. Let's open that folder and add our Gemini key. So we are in the Blender project. Let's go to the Blender Agentic. So in this Blender Agentic we have the MCP folder. That's what we want. Here we have the MCP example. So we have to copy, paste, rename so that it could be a .env, but in my case I'm just gonna copy for the sake of the video from BIM Blender MCP .env space dot. Let's copy this .env file here. So I'm not gonna open it in the video. I don't want to recycle this key. Let's follow. I'm gonna change this window. Close this one, it's not needed anymore. We already have our view here. So we have our API key set. If we follow here, we can make agents up in this folder. No, in the folder, in the back folder, where is our make file is. So by doing make agents up, it will gonna build all the infrastructure needed for the MCP to Agentic to spin. And simple as that. it's already started. We make a Docker. There's a lot of mess I have, but it's already started. I'm gonna just make an agent run in order for it to summarize the query. So here it's gonna spin up a temporary instance of the chat that we just queried, that already created image, that already created instance, and it will analyze the image. So it's already built, created. It's like it's ephemeral instance. It's just like one process. It creates, it shuts down, and now it says that the MCP is not active. So let's take a look in our app. It's on the right port. Let's restart it, and let's try to run it again. Let's restart. Let's do something else before if we need to restart. That's important tip. Let's open the configurations of Bonsai. We have here in Bonsai, or interface, no, it's Bonsai itself. In Bonsai configurations extras, let's check this box, save non-IFC data to metadata blend file. So it will create a metadata blend file in order to save the sketch, the Sketcher entities. Otherwise, if you save only the IFC file, sketches will vanish once you close the app. So that's I think that's enough. Let's save this IFC project as test, very creative test 1.ifc, and save IFC. We can note that it's saved here, but it's having trouble with connecting to the MCP. Let's try it again. But either way, we can go to the Blender Agentic Sketcher MCP, and you can make run. So it will we will assure that the MCP server is running, the BIM agent is running, and here we are. So it already returned us its analysis. It's a BIM environment confirmed, ready, IFC model, IFC4, structure a single-story building, my story, located within a building, my site. There is an active component, IFC slab, with some type definitions. That's it. It's plain and simple. That's our applications, our MCP already working. So the slab is active. So let's leave it that way, and let's query our agent to build walls. 2.1 meter height around the slab, and create another slab 1.1 meter away let's keep it simple. Let's make just walls 2.1 height around this lab. So here we're using we can find in folder Gemini what's gonna be the name. So the agent created here the instance. It communicated with Blender, and something in the view is changing. We don't know yet. So the automate tools requires an active 3D viewport or context. So let's see. We are by default here configured the Gemini agent. It's 2.5 flash, I believe. Let's say here. In config.py, agents config.py. Let me put it down. We're using Gemini 3.1 Flash Lite. This LLM is kind of cheap, and it's good for some kind of interactions. But let's change it to Pro. And try to run it again. Just draw walls around the perimeter of this lab. We're making here the, let's say, the manual way. Our Blender MCP, in my opinion, works best with an MCP client configured. I'm using Cursor. If you're using another MCP client, you can change it for whatever you want, like Claude, like let's say Codex. I think you can configure it some way. So here I have Blender Agentic Bonsai Sketcher MCP in MCP server. I'm gonna configure the let me clear this error. And give some space here. Let's keep it the 3.1. Pro. Let's put 2.5 Pro. It's kind of cheaper the better. So I'm in Cursor. I'm going to my MCP tools. Oh, here I have a Blender configuration already in place that it's pointing already to my 8050, so it is connected. So instead of having to do all this make run agent that we run a container and so on and so forth, we can use the we can use so instead of making this yeah, we changed to 2.5 Pro. So instead of making this run agent with a query that spins up a Docker container and communicate with Blender, we can just talk directly to cursor. It has already some guidelines for the cursor agent to apply always in this MCP server. So just make sure it is connected. Let's again in the cursor settings, the tools MCP. I have Blender here configured. When we start a server in cursor, we have to always do this, otherwise it's gonna be in a failed state. And we can like what is in the scene. So we queries the MCP server and it returns an answer. And draw a slab, draw walls around the slab. Let's see if it asks for the height of the walls. I forgot to type in, but that's the thing, we just ask. So here we can see it in cursor. It is more verbose. It just run get objects, status, so to get the real feeling what's going on, to get the meshes. We are using the automatic model, which I think for cursor is a Kimi model, Kimi 2.5. I don't know, quality it's never guaranteed here, so we're just exploring, we're just testing. So there's no intention for us to be a lot of quality in our tests. So we have already here Gemini 2.5 Pro, which has a good reasoning, good orchestration with the sub-agents. So our configuration here, it's Google ADK. It has a runner. Let me just expand here in order to be better to see. And we have our main agent. It's a coordinator, researcher, geometry, appearance, property, cost inspector. And each one has its own prompt, has its own tasks to do, its own responsibilities. You can see that it can get bigger and bigger the more we start adding, but they're capable of read for knowledge and documentations that you may create to help them. It's not, of course, or nothing, it's written in stone. So here we are, our MCP agent created IFC walls for our IFC projects. It's another advancement in builder information model modeling. It's compliant, so I think that's it. That's a good introduction on how to to get this running, I have let's say here I have this Sketcher Bonsai project that I made. It's a little bit bigger. Let me open it up. So this was my last test. So as you can see, it is able to create multi-slabs, to coordinate, to know where are you working, if you name things right, if you give the good hierarchy to the MCP and to the agent. The same way you're gonna think about on how to do things in Blender, the agent can think not the same, but things that are procedural, you can automate a little bit, like writing new sketches on the planes and get things done in a more proper manner. But of course, this is just a study. So with that, we have our Blender Agentic Bonsai, we have our IfcOpenShell that we just use a few files, and we are good to go. We are already set, and we can improve this tool, or we can just already apply it to some work that we need. And I think that's it. I hope you find a good use of these agents, and be responsible with tokens and with the models you're using, depending on your budget. And I hope you enjoy it and find it useful. So the links are in the description, and please give your feedback, give your contribution if you feel that you can contribute for the community. So there's two repos. One is GitHub, another one is the projects.blender.org, that you can see this project and you can make the most out of it. That's okay. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.